Konnichiwa, hello one and all. This is the Kanazo Otaku with you here today. Back with more Idol Manager on PlayStation 5. Hope you're doing well. Last few days have been a bit of a blur for me. Long weekend at work, couple of incidents here and there. Glad to have a day off. I actually started off the day by watching a fairly new Netflix original. I think it's original. I could be wrong. But it was the what do they call it? K-pop Demon Hunters. So kind of related to this, which was interesting. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty entertaining. Anyone who enjoyed like the Spider-Verse animated Spider-Man movies, I think would enjoy it. It's got a very nice art style. Even if you're not like a huge fan of like K-pop or idol songs, it's still got some charm to it. Some of the characters you could find a little annoying, some of them you might really like, but maybe not the most solid story, like kind of a cliche story type deal, but nothing really like to roll your eyes at or just think it was just really dumb. But anyways, that's enough of that. Last stream, which like I said a few days ago, it feels like it's been forever. Been working with our two new signees to the group. We got rid of Komuzaki or whatever her name is, and basically after that, for the last almost a full year now, or it's maybe been like 6 to 8 months, but we've had no problems. Yamoto still has a 2, but after her last incident, which is well over a year ago, we have not had any problems with her. Fans is solid. Money is absolutely solid. We did have another concert, which went pretty well, I would say. If we wanted to level up this any further, we would need to do the idol votes, which I don't know anything about, so I'm not sure if I even want to bother with that right now or just wait. We got a couple of idols that are doing roles in drama shows on TV. Close to getting that leveled up, but not quite. And then, of course, after that, it's doing a concert in every country. We've yet to expand enough to where we can really do like bigger concerts. We just did the open venue. I think that's what it was. All of our girls are a little tired right now, so I'll move the day forward a little bit, and then we'll oh, right. The last thing that happened was we were told that the idol show that's been a big hit in Japan is going to go global, but basically it's just going to be more or less like a global, like American Idol type deal. So, like Korea would look for like a pop idol. Yeah, basically every country's gonna do like their own thing. It's not gonna be about the idols, which is what this was supposed to be. So now our supposed rival is taking a stand against it, saying that she is boycotting this big global deal, and basically asking that the idol groups do the same, that they just don't stand for this either. How do I... Oh, there we go. So yeah, the next part for the story is basically where they're getting ready for the next... Oh, am I doing something right now? Let me pause. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, I was. I didn't even pay attention. Working on a new single. And... is there anything else, or is it just that? Maybe it was just that. Okay. Okay, so, working on the single. I want to advance the day enough to where I could get the girls to rest with the spa treatment. If it'll let me. There we go. Okay. A photo shoot. $45, $48, $10. Now we won't do that. Okay. Go ahead and pause again. And we'll go ahead and advance the story now. If it'll let me. Okay. So, yeah, I think it's good just be a case of asking if we are going to stand with Miss USADA and boycott this change to the show. And basically saying that if they're going to do Nation of Idols in other countries, it has to be idol groups, not basically their own thing. Like in the North America, it'd be like, you know, rap artists or country songs or whatever. It's got to be idol groups. Are there idol groups in North America? Who knows? So yeah, let's go ahead and hit this up. Hey, I'm sure you heard the news about Nation of Idols, or more specifically, Miss Yasuda's video challenging everyone to pull out. Yeah, I'm thinking pull the TKO out of the show. I thought you might say that. I expect there to be a lot of news over the next few days. After all, you're not the only one that Miss USADA just made a public appeal to. Dream Seriality and Utorti are probably also scrambling right now, figuring out what they should do. They're both probably waiting to see what the others do. After all, nobody wants to be the only group to pull out. Yeah, my mind's made up. Is that so? Well, I guess it's a good thing that I didn't come here expecting you to change your mind. I just came here to ask one thing. Regardless of whether you choose to stay in or pull out, hold back on making the announcement. The taping will happen 2 days from now, but things could change between now and then. Why do you want me to hold back? I just told you the situation could change between now and then. Who knows, maybe Miss USADA's recent video is just a stunt trying to negotiate better terms and will start signing or singing a different tune if the network makes the right offer. Maybe the network will acquire what is that? Acquise? Well, Akose. Maybe the network will agree to Miss USADA's demands without pulling anyone out. It's hard to tell at the moment. The personal relationship with Miss USADA is tenuous at best, and Miss USADA has always been erratic and hard to predict. But there's something that tells me it's worth waiting for more information to come out. As you walk down the hall, while you walk past a break room and hear the sound of USADA Kokona's voice, it sounds faint as if it's being played through a tiny speaker. Okamoto Natsuki's there, holding her phone up to her face, apparently absorbed in the video. As Usada Kakona's voice stops playing, she looks up and notices you. Oh, hi, Mr. Otaku. I guess you've probably seen the video by now. Yeah, what do you think about the video? Well, I felt a little called out. I mean, TKO is directly called out, and I am part of TKO, so I guess that's only natural. But I did find her words kind of inspiring. This is our chance to stand up and be part of something big. I guess it's weird to say that. We're already part of Nation of Idols, which is a big show. But this feels even bigger than that. It's not just an event or a TV show, it's a cause. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but it's almost like the feeling I first got when I discovered I was accepted to be a part of the show, or part of TKO. Misty Sada's words remind me of why I wanted to be an idol in the first place. It felt like a reminder that there are things more important than money or fame. I know that Nation of Idols has been a good opportunity for TKO, but I'd almost rather not appear on the show at this point. Just for the sake of making a statement about why idols are such an important part of our culture. Alright, well, duly noted. Mirai Nanaho rushes up to greet you as soon as you enter the building. Good morning. There's a call we just got from JHK. It's about the whole, well, situation from yesterday. They just wanted to confirm that we'd still be appearing tomorrow at the studio for taping. I told them that you weren't in the office to confirm one way or the other, but that I would keep them informed of any developments on our end. They also sent along a reminder that we are contractually obligated to show up, and if we fail to show up, the possibility does exist for them to pursue legal actions against us. After all, if we just pull out and cause our rankings to tank, they could blame the bad ratings on us and sue us for any related damages. I'm not sure what their advertising revenue is for a typical night of primetime television, but if they sue us, it could be for a pretty hefty amount. Well, there's gotta be some way. Oh, wait. They can't push us around like that. I was thinking the same thing. Certainly they could sue us, but it would be a really bad look for them. Any money they got from suing us pulling out would probably be offset by the PR damage they'd incur by attacking another group like ours. That being said, I wouldn't put it past them to sue us anyway. So we probably can't rely on the fans to blanket us from possible legal action, especially if public opinion turns against any idol groups that pull out. I'll be monitoring public attitudes around this throughout the day. Maybe we should even conduct some informal polling to see how people feel if we decide to pull out. It's always good to take the temperature of the room before making a rash decision. Sorry for ambushing you right as you walk in, but this seemed too urgent to wait until you were settled into your office. As Mirai Nanaho walks away, you hear the sound of someone entering the building. Her entrance doesn't go unannounced. Ah, Mr. Otaku, so glad to see you. I was hoping to get a quote from you about a story that I'm about to break. I'll keep you anonymous. I know it would be bad news if they found out you were talking to the press in the midst of negotiations. But I gotta know what's going on with Nation of Idols. I heard that Usada Kankona called you out along with Dreams of Reality and Yutori. The network started threatening to sue anyone who pulled out. Is that true? Yeah, can neither confirm nor deny. Oh, really? That sounds like a really fancy way of saying that you won't deny it. You'd only say if they were threatening you, right? I get it. You're scared to give an honest answer. Anyway, I'll just write ambiguously that some of the groups have been threatened with legal action. That shouldn't implicate you directly. After all, maybe I'm just talking about Dreams of Reality and Yutori, right? Anyway, this story's hot right now, so I've got to run and get this ready to submit. The public needs to know. Is there anything else you want to say before I write this up? No official statement at this time. Right. Of course. I won't quote you on anything. That's okay, people will be interested in a story without a source who's willing to go on the record. I'm starting to get to the point where my reputation alone is enough for an outlet to want to run a story from me. Anyway, you've been a big help. Catch you later. Alright. Yeah, activities. You gotta let me... Or not, whatever. Okay, you're not gonna let me do anything? Okay. Looking for a cute girl to fill a supporting role in the upcoming TV show Big Nut. What? I was gonna say, it doesn't help that... Oh, maybe it does show already. Okay, so I was gonna say, will it show me if one of the girls is already on a show? So it looks like, technically right now... They've got contracts right now. Well, actually, yeah, this one looks like it is shows. Maybe I'm thinking something else. 12, 32. So that one, she would take the lowest hit. So if we try... Alright, screw you. Oh yeah, single. Okay, we'll just wait for the time for that to be able to release. Maybe. Okay. Well, the single can't come out, but I can continue the story, so we'll do that. Around noon, an email comes from Murai Nanaho's reading. This just went up. I thought you should see it. From the thumbnail, it appears to be another video from Yasuda Kokona. Hey guys. Several minutes ago, a story just went up reporting that JHK has threatened legal action against several of the idol groups who were scheduled to appear on the next episode of Nation of Idols. I was going to write up an editorial responding to this, but things are unfolding fast, so I wanted to just give you my candid reaction to that in real time. First off, hands off to the excellent journalism of Ayanaya, who's done the hard work of digging up the facts behind the story. Aya-san, thank you for telling a story that we all needed to hear. From the sound of things, JHK is threatening legal action against at least some of the idol groups, and it seems safe to assume that if they've been sent these warnings out to some of them, they've sent them out to all. I feel partially responsible for this. I was the one who named TKO Dreams of Reality and Yatori in my video earlier this week, and now by all indications they're being threatened with legal action. I didn't mean to paint targets on your backs, I only wanted to give you an invitation to do the right thing. But now it seems the network is intent on ensuring these groups don't do the right thing. That's terrible. Of course, they have a contract and they can enforce it. They have a similar contract with me, but I was willing to break the contract because I knew I was doing the right thing more importantly than any fine they could levy against me. But I know that not everyone has that same personal conviction and courage that I was willing to demonstrate, and apparently the network knew it too because they assumed that they could intimidate everyone into complying with their wishes. So again, I'll make the same appeal to TKO, Dreams of Reality, and Yatori. Do the right thing. Even if it means losing money. But I think Naya-san's story has exposed the network for what they really are. Bullies. And I don't think the public is going to let them get away with it. Whatever legal damages they might recoup by suing individual idols will pale in comparison to the damage they'll face now that people know the truth. So I'm asking all of you, make it known that this bullying and intimidation is something that we will not stand for. With that, the video ends. The video has only been live for several minutes, but reactions are already pouring in online. So, if I were to guess at this point in time in the game, I'm assuming that they would think that we wouldn't even have like 1 million in our account, and if we got sued, it would be like, or at least 1 million, if not more. with what we got right now, I think we're okay. Probably gonna stay with the intention of, boycotting for the sake of, what the show is supposed to represent. But we'll see if anything happens between now and that time that we're supposed to be at the studio. At 5 p.m., a notification comes in. JHK has just posted a public press release. It reads as follows. Earlier today, a story came out reporting that we intend to pursue legal actions against performers and organizations that fail to fulfill their contractual obligations. While we normally exercise the right to do this, we have decided in this specific instance that we will not pursue action against performers and organizations who have participated in Nation of Idols. Although our contract stipulates that these parties have obligations that they are required to fulfill, we believe that recent developments require a more flexible approach. A minute later, Mirai Nanaho appears. We just got a call from the network. It seems like an important call. I'll forward it to your desk. On the other end of the phone, you can hear the voice of an apologetic sounding man. Hello, Mr. Otaku. I'm Sato Takuma, head of business development at JHK. I just want to extend you a heartfelt apology for the confusion that resulted over our previous messages sent from our network to your staff. I just want to clarify that it was never our intention to intimidate or browbeat you into compliance. We've just publicly announced that we have no intention of pursuing actions against TKO or any of the other groups who decide to pull out of the show. Regardless of what decision you make, we will be fully supportive. Regardless of what decision you make, we'd appreciate it if you'd assist us in conveying to the public that your decision, whatever it was not coerced. That was never our intent, and I apologize deeply if anyone from our staff ever indicated otherwise. Bearing that in mind, I was wondering if you could indicate us on whether you still plan to show up tomorrow for the recording. Yeah, we're gonna still say, we're still not sure. I see. Well, we hope to see you at tomorrow's taping. We understand that this is a delicate situation. So we'll be ready to receive you at the recording studio tomorrow if you're still willing to participate. Once again, I hope you understand we value all of our partners and have no intention of pursuing legal action against you or the rest of the talent involved in the production of Nation of Idols. If you speak to the press, it would assist us greatly if you'd convey that information to them. As the call ends, Mirai Nanaho steps back into your office. I hope you don't mind, but I was listening in on the other end. Mr. Sato certainly was contrite, and even if it was a bit insincere, it seems that they have no intention of pressuring us to decide one way or the other. If Ms. Yasuda's intention was to make the network too scared to threaten anyone with legal action, I'd say they succeeded. I wonder if they're being more cautious or afraid of Ms. Yasuda's public support than is warranted. At any rate, it sounds like good news for us. Anyway, it seems like we still have time to decide whether we really want to participate. In light of that, perhaps we should avoid making a public announcement until tomorrow. It may nearly be evening, but who knows what could happen between now and tomorrow morning. Well, what do you think? If you want to know what I think, well, mainly I'm just happy that I'm not the one who has to make the decision, because it's really hard to tell what's right in this situation. That being said, I've been mulling things over, weighing pros and cons on both sides. I think showing up is the right decision from a business relations perspective. We've been lucky to have this opportunity, and I think continuing to be on the show will benefit us in the short term, while also beneficial to future business relationships. I also don't like the idea of biting the hand that feeds us so generously. That being said, there may be some PR costs. I'm assuming that the apologetic phone call we got yesterday is because they were feeling pressured for people who were threatening some kind of backlash. So while being on the show is great publicity opportunity for us, that publicity won't be free. Of course, we're in a big position as a big brand. The network wants to avoid negative publicity, but who knows, negative publicity could work in our favor. After all, we're a small group. More fans. Of course, that's completely setting aside the question of whether you agree with Mr. Suda's views about the international version of the shows portraying idol culture. I'm assuming you probably have your own personal position on that. Maybe that's more important to you than any other business factors I mentioned. I guess the whole reason this conflict kicked off is that the network wanted to dilute the appeal of Nations of Isles to bring a larger audience, but Miss Yasuda thinks that it's more important to be faithful to the hardcore audience. Which side do you think is right? Anyway, I don't mean to keep you any longer. Be sure to get a good night's rest. So I'm not sure if I was like supposed to go and talk to any of the girls at this time to get their decision. I was kind of hoping that at some point they would basically, have me going to each one to ask them how they felt, and they would tell me, like, yes, we should go to the show. No, we should boycott. Whatever. I think right now it's still going to be the case of, yeah, if they're going to do the show in other countries, it's got to be the same thing, because there's like idol or like talent hunt shows are all over the world, as it is anyways. Why would you take one that was so unique in one country, just take the name of it and then make it like everything else? Hey, Mr. Otaku, you're leaving for the day already? I guess I should probably go home too. Something bothering you? I guess I've just been wondering what's going to happen tomorrow. I know it makes sense for you to hold back the announcement since you don't want anything to leak out, but it feels weird to go home today not knowing if we'll actually be going in to record tomorrow. I mean, just a week ago, I was on top of the world thinking that appearing on TV was going to be my big break. Now it feels like all that might seem to be get taken away from me. I guess this is what it means to be an idol. One day it feels like your dreams are coming true, and in an instant they could all be dashed. Sorry if that came out wrong. Of course I'd be disappointed if we pulled out, but I wouldn't place the blame on you if you did. I know you're getting pressure from a lot of different sources. I bet you're even more worried about this whole situation than I am. Yeah, I have been thinking about it a lot. Right, you got enough to think about without me pestering you about it. Still, I hope that we stick with Nation of Idols. That show has done so much for my career, it wouldn't feel right to abandon it now, right? Sorry, it probably felt selfish when I said it like that, but if we pulled out, it'd be, again, biting the hand that feeds us. I guess I should go home and try to get some sleep. Well, damn it. Now you're making me question. And to be fair, the one girl who said that she would stand by Kakona's side with boycotting, a fairly fresh member. The one who's just said, I kind of feel better about if we stayed with it, don't bite the hand that feeds us. Go in and do the show anyway. Is our lead singer. So it's like, do I... Again, I'd rather just get everyone's consensus about it. Like, even our, sound guy, our choreographer, our, business managers, and all the girls, like, what? Damn drift. Stick drift. Okay. Stop it. Oh, I just realized. If I push in more, moves it fast. Alright. Okay, so yeah, we'll go ahead and should I go ahead? I'm a weenie. I'm gonna save. I am thinking about getting a new controller in the near future, so I don't have to deal with this drift anymore. But I also, it's like it's the one that came with the console, so I don't want to just pitch it. I want to see if I can fix it. I just don't know how. I just got a call. 2 calls, actually. Both Dreams of Reality and Yutori want to know what we plan on doing regarding today's taping. Apparently, they both plan to announce around 9:30 that they're pulling out. They're suggesting that we do the same thing as a show of solidarity. That is, of course, assuming that we decide to pull out. Given that we would be recording at the recording studio by 10 if we were showing up, it seems as good a time as any to make it official. I think the dust is finally starting to settle on this, so we need to make a final decision. If TKO is going to show up and appear on set for Nation of Idols, I need to know now. And if we're going to announce alongside Dreams to Reality and Yutori that we're also pulling out, we also need to know now. What are we going to do? Yeah, we're out. Alright, I'll draft up a quick press release. Because yeah, it's like, well, it's bad enough that, you know, 2 of the groups already decided, yeah, we're gonna pull out, and if one of them's like, oh, well, this will just make us look good, so we're gonna stay, then it's like, okay, that's the dirtbag move. Now you're just gonna be known as the dirtbag group. There you are, the man of the hour. Aya Naya is carrying a microphone this time, and a person with a camera standing next to her. Oh, so what's all this? I'm moving up in the world. Yesterday I was writing the news. Today I'm capturing it directly. I've been dreaming about being the woman in front of the camera ever since I was a little kid, and now my dreams are coming true. Well, congratulations. Thanks for the congratulations, and thanks for the story. My career really started off taking off when I stumbled into you at the recording lot for Nation of Idols, and I know that's not a coincidence. I owe you for that, so I figured at least I could do is give you a chance to talk directly to the public. It's been less than a month since TKO captured the hearts of the nation by making their appearance on Nation of Idols. Yet now you're not appearing on television. Appearing on national television must have been such a benefit to a group like yours, so why pull out now? Are you biting the hand that fed you? We're doing what we think is best for idol culture. Ah, so a bigger picture perspective, huh? Maybe I need to approach with a different question. Your pullout, along with the pullout of Dreams to Reality and Yutori, come days after Miss Yasada made a plea for you to leave the show. It seems safe to say that you agree with Miss Yasada in this particular point, but how do you describe your relationship with Miss Yasada in general? We often disagree. Given that you and Miss Yasada find yourselves at odds so often, I think it sends a strong message that you are able to come together on this topic. Even people with widely diverging opinions can see the benefits of keeping Nation of Idols the way it is. It almost seems like the entire world is marching to the beat of Miss Yasuda's drum here. You, Dreams to Reality, and Yutori all decided to go along with Miss Yasuda's plans after that video specifically named you. There's also widespread speculation that the network is considering Miss Yasada's suggestions regarding the future of Nation of Idols, so it seems like Miss Yasada is succeeding on all fronts. Almost as if everything is proceeding exactly according to plan. So it seems that Miss Yasada is getting what they want, which is for the network to reconsider their international franchising plans. But what is it that you want? We want Nation of Isles to preserve our culture when exporting it.
さすがですわ。
Ah, so you want the whole world's eyes on TKO, I take it. That's ambitious, but given what we've seen from TKO thus far, I'm not surprised to find that you have international ambitions. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to talk to us.
ごきげんよう。
And to all the viewers at home, remember to subscribe to this channel and capture future coverage, live stream directly to you. Naya out. Oh, and now we get to wait a week. Fantastic. So now everyone's gonna be like, well, boo. And then the TV company is like, yeah, we lied. We're suing you. I don't think I got a song out this month. Nope, I definitely did not. Well, that's fine. $285,000 sales. Only 2,700 new fans, but it looks like our fame level is now maxed out. Which I would say is good. Alright, well, we got a little bit of time for that. So, before we do anything else, let me check my research. What levels are these at? A little low, so probably won't worry about that right now. How are the girls? Pretty good for the most part. She's a little tired. She's a little tired. She's a little tired. But I just did the spa treatment, so they should be back up in a little bit. And I'm gonna guess that, well, actually what I should be doing is talking to them again so I can see what their next dreams are, or what their next goals are. We got hers. We could talk with her again.
はじめ。
Okay, so yeah, let's see what your next wishes are. Wants to host her own show. Okay. Alright, how about your next goal? Center 2 songs at a concert. Might be able to pull that off. How about you? Oh, another one. 2 songs at a concert. don't really need to right now, so we'll just do casual conversation. So she wants 2 songs, and she wants 2 songs. And then the other 2 want to host a show. So, at this point, I think... I know the one wants to do a radio show, so I think that's what we do. We'll just do another one like that. And we'll give it to these 2. Since I've already done it once before, to make it a sequel, Radio Hour Plus. Alright. And then we'll get a new single out for her. Yeah, we'll just call it He Hurt You. It's going to be an R&B song about friendship. And then we'll have her in the lead. She'll be happy there. She'll be happy there. I know these 2 probably won't be happy, but just give it a chance. Alright, so we got those 2 things started. So let's go ahead and continue with our story. In the hallway, you overhear several girls chattering. Did you watch Nation of Idols last night? I saw something about a boat. They broadcast 1 hour stock footage of an ocean cruiser instead of the show. They actually did that? I saw some people saying that online, but I thought it was just a joke. No, it actually happened. It's hilarious. I was gonna say it was such a waste that airtime could have been spent doing anything else, and instead they use it to broadcast footage of boat. Well, some people enjoy watching relaxing videos of ships. That's why the stock footage exists in the first place, right? So as long as they chose a nice boat, they don't see what the problem is. I can't even. Are you gonna complete that sentence? Yumoto Rin shakes her head and walks out with a disgusted expression. Okotomo Natsuki, meanwhile, pulls out her phone and, after several seconds of tapping, begins grinning wildly. Okay, this is epic. Hey Rara, have you seen this? Let me show you. Okay, so we got a couple days. A press release from JHK Broadcasting has just appeared online. Last week, news emerged that we were investigating the possibility of expanding the highly rated Nation of Vials with our international partners in order to adapt the show for audiences around the globe. In doing so, our intent was to present Nation of Vials in the most appealing way to a global audience. However, more recently, we have now come to believe that adapting Nation of Vials in this manner would not preserve the appeal of the show that our fans have come to know and love. Currently, we have no plans to take Nation of Vials to the international stage, but if we do, utmost consideration will be paid to preserving the spirit of the show that showcases the idol talent of Japan. Alright, well that's what we wanted to hear. Alright, we'll pause, see what this deal is. It's another TV drama for a show called Father. Alright, well, let's put her in and see if we can't get the fan count up to like 160. Alright, that's good. Can we go 165? 162, okay. 167, I think we can do that. Alright, continue story. Mr. Otaku, I saw the press release about Nation of Vials and called our contacts at the network to see if a taping were scheduled in light of recent events. Apparently, they plan to proceed with the season as originally planned rather than pushing things back a week. That means that the episode we were planning to be featured on, which didn't air, isn't going to be replaced with another opportunity for us to participate. I wish I had better news. They were apologetic and told me that the programming schedule is subject to change and that they might be calling us back about future opportunities, so we may not want to publicly badmouth them just yet, since there could potentially be something in the cards for us. But I'm not sure I like that how likely this is going. I cannot speak, but I'm not sure how likely it is that we'll get that call. Well, was it worth it? Damn it. Were you just eavesdropping on my conversation, Miss Mirai? I wasn't eavesdropping. She just left the door ajar and I happened to overhear. If you want your conversations to stay private, keep them behind a closed door. Anyway, I don't think I heard anything I wouldn't have found out anyway later in the day. We got screwed, didn't we? We pulled out Nation of Vials, and now the show's going on without us. I was worried from the start that something like this would happen. We had the opportunity of a lifetime fall into our laps, and now it's vanished. So I'll ask again, was it worth it? I made the best decision I could have with the information I had available. Funny, because I feel like you could have seen this coming from the start. After all, I did. I joined TKO because I thought you would lead us to great things. I don't like being made to feel like a loser. Well, son of a bitch. Not how I wanted things to go, especially with my #1 singer, but we've got opportunities to make amends. Or at least we're going to have to. A notification pops up for a new video from Yasuda Kakona. It's short, only 30 seconds in length. Hello, fans and friends. Thank you all for supporting me in my stand to preserve the spirit of Nation of Idols. This is a victory for me, but more importantly, it's a victory for all of you who helped with your letters and words of encouragement online, and those who joined me in taking a stand. I look forward to appearing on next week's episode of Nation of Isles as originally scheduled, and I hope you'll all tune in. It is probably going to be with our own group, isn't it? The video ends without any mentions of the other groups. Yeah, I have a feeling that we just got screwed. As you pass by the break room, you spot Okatamo Natsuki sitting in the corner alone, looking forlorn. Oh, hi, Mr. Otaku. Oh, you look upset at something. I wouldn't say I'm upset, I just feel betrayed. Do you remember when we last talked about the video that Miss Yusada posted, challenging us to pull out a Nation of Idols? I must confess, I was a bit taken in by the message. In reality, I believe that pulling out was the right thing. The just thing. And I guess I just assumed that if we did the right thing, karma would pay us back and reward us for making that decision. But that's not what happened at all. It seems like Miss Yusada took advantage of the situation to get everything that they wanted, while we were hung out to dry along with Dreams to Reality and Yutori. We didn't get so much as a thank you. Miss Yusada could have gone to the bat for us, but somehow that didn't happen. If I'd been in the same place as you, I would have made the same decision, but now I'm wondering if my thinking was wrong-headed from the start. Are you familiar with the prisoner's dilemma? You better remind me. It's an old thought experiment. The idea is that two conspiring criminals are asked to testify against each other. If the prisoners choose to cooperate and stay silent, they'll get a shorter sentence than if both of them spill the beans on each other, so the ideal outcome is for everyone to cooperate. But if one person rats out the other while the other refuses to testify, then one who defeated will get a lighter sentence while the one who chose to cooperate gets a longer sentence. So if you're only looking out for your own self-interest, it's best to defect. I guess I thought it was best to cooperate because it's the less selfish option, but the thing I hadn't considered is that if you know that the other person is going to defect, then you should defect too. I assume that if we played nice, everyone else would play nice, and that would lead to the best possible outcome. But some people look at the cooperator and see an opportunity for exploitation and betrayal. I was really taken in by her words. I guess in the end, I really am a sucker, huh? Well, you're not a sucker. You say that, but what evidence is there to the contrary? Miss Yusada told us pulling out, making claims of selflessness. Then we did exactly what she asked for and got taken advantage of. She played us like a damn fiddle. You know what they say, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. And I don't think it's showing up on the stream. If it did, that's kind of cool, but I just got a trophy notification, and the name of the trophy is You Won't Get Fooled Again. And I was about to go, yeah! In my heart, I trusted Miss Yasuda when I should have trusted you to make the right decision without trying to nudge you in a certain direction. I promise I won't make that same mistake again. You and Tikio are the only ones who deserve my loyalty. Okay, well, I appreciate that. I still feel bad. Okay, this says, oh, the 19th. Gotcha. I was like, why is nothing happening? Shoot. Well, we're gonna have to decline that for now, because I still gotta work on this and this. Alright, I'll grab this to start working on choreography. And then go back to the main screen to see what the next part of our story is. On your way home, you pass a vacant ramen shop. A familiar-looking face stands by the entrance and waves at you. Hello. I thought we could exchange words. Care to join me for a bite to eat? Sure, I got time.
Yes.
Wonderful, I'm glad you could join me. Shortly after you enter, a man brings 2 steaming bowls, almost as if your arrival is anticipated. Despite being located in an urban neighborhood, the ramen shop has a distinctly rustic feel. I see you eyeing the joint, so what do you think? Well, the place has personality. The owner shop and I go way back. I'm not sure if that means I should be immune to its charms by now, but I like it here. It's an interesting thing to think about. If you spend more time around something or someone or some place, does that make you more fond of it, or do you tire of it? Maybe there's an ebb and flow to it. Anyway, enjoy the meal. It's on me. Well, you didn't bring me here just for ramen. Not just for the ramen, but the ramen here is good, and it would be a shame for you to not enjoy it. It's good to take time to enjoy life's simple pleasures. Yasuda Kokona begins eating as the two of you share several minutes without another word spoken. As the time passes, the silence is interrupted only by the occasional sound of slurping. It seems Yasuda Kokona has no intentions of breaking the silence. So, statement 1, correct. She did get what she wanted. Statement 2 could be misleading. She may or may not have said anything, or may, like, she didn't exactly betray. She just failed to show proper appreciation, I guess. Number 3 is also misleading. They said the opportunity would still be open. We cannot say anything, or we shouldn't say anything. If we keep either mute or positive about it, even though it's a small chance in hell, there's still a chance. The existence of a winner often implies the existence of a loser. Is this your way of telling me that you feel like a loser? As self-serving as my actions might have seemed to you, I really didn't mean everything that I said. I wanted to preserve the spirit of Japan's idol culture. That serves my own goals, but I never claimed to anyone who cares about something nebulous like culture is doing it for their own reason. Usually it's because that they like the culture or that part of their as a consumer. Besides, I'm sure you could find some way to benefit from this. You're wily enough, even if you did seem to fall flat on your face this time. Oh geez, thanks. Who knows, the next time you choose to cooperate with me, things might go your way. I would like that, in fact. I don't want bad things to happen to you. Why would you care about what happens to me? Why? The same reason I care what happens to anyone. I don't desire bad outcomes for anyone in the world, Mr. Otaku. It brings me no joy to learn of others' misfortune, at least of all yours. After all, I desire the best for people I like the most. Yet, as surprised as you might be to hear, I do like you, Mr. Otaku. Maybe it's because we both had the experience of being the punchline of one of Fujimoto-san's jokes. Even if you did fall flat on your face this time, the only reason it hurt so much is that you managed to climb so high. Most people never have the opportunity to fall for grace, having never been in anyone's good graces to start with. So I'm being honest when I say I look forward to seeing what you can do next. That being said, even if my own cultural or natural curiosity didn't compel me, your next steps are relevant to me because I want to make sure that they don't impede my own success. I'm not asking that you be my friend, Mr. Otaku. All I ask is that you avoid making an enemy of me. You choose your dreams and I'll choose mine. I think that would be to our mutual benefit. What dreams are you talking about? Oh, there's no point in dreaming small, is there? My dream is to create the ultimate idol. this has been my plan from the start. Everything that I've done, including the events of recent weeks, has been in the service of this goal. Anyway, the specifics of my plan will become apparent with time, I'm sure. I'd ask what your next plans are, but I get the impression that you're not in the mood to freely share information.
よろしくね。
If you were, I'm not sure my conscience would allow me to take it freely without offering anything in return, and I think I've told you as much about myself as I care to. Alrighty. So, okay, that's being worked on. I'm finishing that, so let's go ahead and continue. Alright, the media is done, so let's go ahead and launch our new radio talk show. And about 100 new fans, so not really worth it. But I fulfilled 2 wishes, so that's the main thing. So, I'll pause again, and I'll click on them. Alright, that was easy enough. Cute girl supporting role TV show worst guy wins again. Sure. Okay, so we got that going on. Working on choreography for the single. And then marketing.
開始します。
Oh, supposedly one of the idols has started dating. Alright. Continuing with our story.
あの
There's no easy way to say this, so I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm quitting the group. What? Is this about what happened with Nation of Idols?
そうです。
Yes, I've already registered my complaint earlier. I became an idol because I wanted to do great things. I'm not gonna say the B word, but blank, you had a hit song before Nation of Idols. You're gonna have more. And it's become clear to me that TKO is not a place where I'll be permitted to fulfill that dream. You want fame?
違います。
No, people can become famous in lots of ways. I wanted to do great things, even if it meant gaining no attention or notoriety. Feel different than how things ended up.
いや、
I don't care about the fact that the nation didn't go see us perform one more time. I care about the fact that we never even got to try. You understand what I'm talking about, don't you? There are people who toil away their entire lives striving for greatness while they languish away in obscurity. Why do they continue to try? Because the mere ability to pursue their ambitions is enough. I thought that being part of TKO would give me more opportunities to test myself, and that may have been true for a while. But when I think about all the people who toil away in obscurity without constraint, I almost envy them.
もういい
That's why I don't want a big graduation ceremony. I'm willing to start off with something new. Well, what do you plan to do next?
最悪
I don't think it's any concern of yours.
は
But know this, the next time I throw my lot in with someone, it'll be with someone who knows what it really means to pursue greatness, no matter the cost. Wow, fuck you. Motherfucker. Well, guess who's probably gonna have another big idol hunt? Yay! Yay me! Ah, that just sucks. Huh. So, here comes the next question. Do I gamble? Because with the girls I've got right now, it's like, yes, our weakest one is Fukutome. Nothing against her. It's just how her stats are lower compared to everyone else's. But now she's my only remaining original. But she's got the most fame out of all of them right now, so I can't just up and give her away or release her or whatever. So I do believe, I guess, what does it say? Oh, just gotta keep going on with time. So I think, because we'd started with 3 and had 3 for the longest time, and that was fine, and we got 4 and it was still working out. I think I stick with the 4 right now, see how it goes. If things start improving, then I say yes to, or, well, no, if things continue the same or improve, leave everything as is. But if it looks like we need a boost, we at least do the idol hunt, and if needed, we open up another floor to bring in, like, well, actually it might be more than one floor, to be fair. Could expand more to, like, have the cafe, the theater, and then another recording studio and dance studio, and then another lounge, because we'll need more girls. Okay, let me just keep going for now.
終了します
Alright, pause real quick. So the single is available. Of course, we're going to have to wait until the beginning of the month to release it. But the main thing right now is that, yeah, last song that she'll be in, and of course that's, our lead singer is gone. The person who had the highest stats for our singing at 90, and yeah, it's like, you lose your lead singer 9 times out of 10 for a group. If your lead singer goes, that's almost like the end of the group. Some can manage if you've got the talent or the fans, and right now I'm not sure if we have any of that. And actually, I do need to check one thing real quick just to see. Oh, so we did actually get enough fame points, so gonna level that up. Alright, that's good. Let's go back to here so we can see when we can release the song. Okay, so our last song with her, and she's not even the lead singer, and we did beat Glace Bryce at least, so there's that. Alright, we'll pause. We're gonna release, and of course, this is a song about friendship, and yeah, our girl's not even in it, so that's also gonna suck. Whatever. Not quite as popular. And probably not the best time to release a song about friendship when one of our girls just up and left, but can't let something like that what am I trying to think of? Can't let something negative like that bring us down. Alright, continue the story.
Yo.
Hey buddy, you doing okay? No. My best girl left. I wanna... Well, let's just say it's not good. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I heard about what happened with Rin. I don't know any of the specifics, but given when it happened, I sort of surmised what happened. It's pretty rare for people to abruptly quit like that. I just wanted to see how you were handling it. Not great. I'm really disappointed that she left. That's too bad. I didn't know her personally, but she was a great performer. Even my friends who don't know what I do for a living would probably recognize her name if you asked them. I just want to let you know that you're not alone. I also had the experience of letting people down, making decisions that disappointed them so much that they decided to leave me for someone else. And I'm not just talking about my romantic relationships either. Har, shut up. Over time, I tried more and more to think about the impact that my actions will have on other people. And whenever I can, I try to do right by the people who matter to me the most. But there's another thing I learned. Many decisions that you'll have to make in life are polarizing. Sometimes you take a stand, and someone gets upset as a result. I used to assume that getting that kind of a response meant that I had done the wrong thing. But the most important stances you could take are often the polarizing kind. Which means that while one person might hate you for making that decision, others will consider it all the more reason to stick by you. In fact, even though Rin left, I'm willing to bet that there's someone else in TKO who's even more loyal to you because of what you did. No, not really, because I already had Rin's loyalty maxed out at the time. Okutamo's did go up, but yeah, we lost Rin. If I could let you in, Mr. Fujimoto, we're fucked! You can't just judge the rightness or wrongness of an action based on the most negative response you get. It's better to make a few people really happy than just to be milk with toast? What is with the vocabulary in this game? And try not to offend anyone. You mean in life? Yes, I used to think that was just a principle for business, but the more I live, the more I've come to think that it's universally true. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't be ashamed of who you are. Stay true to yourself, and the people who matter most will stick around. If you keep that in mind, I think you're going to do fine. Fujimoto turns to leave, then turns around at the last moment as though he's just remembering something. One more thing I should mention. You probably know that I have a bit of a sword pass. I'm thinking that it's finally time for me to bury all the skeletons in my closet. I guess you could say that the success of TKO has inspired me. It's making me think that maybe I could turn completely legit one day. It's going to be a long journey for me to get there. And while I'm happy to be at the point where I'm willing to say to no less savor opportunities, it does mean that I'm financially a lot less liquid than I've been in the past. As it turns out, being good isn't cheap. That means I won't be able to lend you money anymore. I hope you can understand. Well, there was only one time, so I think that's fine. Well, it's good to hear that your life is moving in the right direction. The burdens that weigh heavy on my heart are starting to feel just a little bit lighter. Maybe one day I'll be able to wake up feeling them without feeling them at all. That being said, I'm not above owing favors to the right people like you. I feel a bit awkward about coming to you like this, hat in hand, so to speak, but if you'd like to accelerate my path to redemption, let me know. Are you proposing a business arrangement? Well, you could call it that. As I mentioned, I'm in need of a bit more liquidity. I'm not asking you to just give me cash straight up. Rather, I'm asking for one-time cash infusion in exchange for future favors and benefits. Like, say, a permanent discount on your rent, that sort of thing. I could go for that. If you think this is too much of an imposition, or if you're tight on money yourself, no worries. I'll make the money I need in time. Like I said, it's just your choice or your chance to accelerate my redemption. I guess you could say it's your chance to invest in me if you wanted to turn the tables. Anyway, I'll give you some time to think about it. If you ever feel like depositing a large sum of cash in my lap, let me know, and I'll do what I can to make it worth your while. All right. Well, that is certainly something. If I've got the chance to. Oh wow, 2 story deals, but not for the next month. Woof. All right. Let's take a look at the girls, see how these ones are doing. So, actually, well, the one nice thing I guess I can say is that the only person that's got any scandal right now is Fukutome, but that was like one of the first ones that happened, so it's not even relevant anymore. Yeah, the whole thing about, like, if I were to give him money and he could, like, cut the rent cost for us, like, basically saying, like, oh yeah, if you have I'll, like, make the next 2 floors that you build stuff in completely free. It's like, that would help out a lot. So, check the media, see how that's going. 90, almost 100,000 a week from that is not bad at all. So I think that could stay for the time being, unless it gets to a point where I try to do something and they're both, like, just ragged. This might actually be a good opportunity. I don't know if any of them really need it right now, but like, I think some of the girls are at the max as it is, but if I can get them in and get a little more experience over the next month or so, I think that would work out. And then I guess, that being said, I might as well explore the possibility of giving the other girls a chance to sing. So, digital only release. pop song, happiness, energetic. I know you're not going to be happy about it, but it is what it is for now. Sorry. All right. Oh yeah, I guess I could change this back. Oh, do I actually need to put a girl in the respective studio for it to start? So, or is hers already maxed out? Oh shoot, that's right. These two suck. I forgot that. Well, no practice for you. It's just gonna be a month of depression. Bears on a plane again? No. No, we're not doing any more shows. I thought this was set to default. It is. They just want them for shows, but that's not what we're doing right now, so leave us alone. Alright, everything's done. So now we're just gotta wait for, well, next month, pretty much, for the song. Okay, so, a photo shoot opportunity. This is the type of thing we can do. Alright, we got a decent amount of fans coming in. We're still doing good on money. At this point, I probably should go ahead and plan our next concert, but I kind of want to get to the next points of the story to see what they want us to do. All right, so yeah, that was what I was afraid of, that they would have a song that would break our, well, beat us in the charts. Which, yes, to be expected. Not I think that could be done. Well, yeah, let's check this. Another photo shoot. Looks good. Let me pause right there because I think it said I'm ready for the next part of the story. Stupid controller, stop it! There. Oh, for him, okay. Let's see what it is. You happen to be leaving Shibuya Station one day when you run into Fujimoto. Oh, fancy running into you here. I guess it's not odd that you'd be in the biggest part of the city, but it's odd running into someone you know here. Shibuya Station is always packed. Even if you were several meters away from someone you knew, you might not realize that everyone's busy. But by now, you might know me well enough to know that I'm a bit of a contrarian. And that means that when everyone is busy, there's a part of me that wants to take the moment to drink in the scenery. There's something about a dog that makes you want to just slow down for a bit. Oh, you mean Hachiko? Oh, yeah, of course. Every time I pass by that statue, it's an opportunity to pause for reflection. I try to be a loyal person, Mr. Otaku, but I tend to think of loyalty as a two-way street. In order to receive loyalty, one must be willing to give loyalty in return. It seemed basic to me. Why would I be loyal to a person who isn't going to repay my loyalty? But if you frame it like that, it's not much different from a quid pro quo. In a way, that kind of approach just seems to be trading favors. It's different from true loyalty. Hachiko reminds me of that. Hachiko faithfully waited for his owner every day. Even 9 years after his owner's death, Hachiko came to the train station to wait for his return. Can you imagine a more resolute symbol of unwavering loyalty? It makes me feel like loyalty is something that should transcend death itself. It makes me feel like I should aspire to be the same. Every time I look at, for me to say things like loyalty is a two-way street, but when I look at the statue, it makes me feel like it's not the kind of thing that should be sacrificed for ulterior ends. Yeah, it sounds like you're not just talking about the dog. No, if the statue is just a reminder about the story of a loyal dog, that would be one thing. But the statue outside of Shibuya Station isn't the original statue. The first statue of Hachiko was erected in the 30s. It was then, as it is now, a symbol of a special kind of unwavering loyalty that just transcends death. But years later, during the war, that original bronze statue was taken and smelted down so it could be used to create ammunition. What do you think of the people who took Hachiko's statue and melted it down? Well, it's something that they did what they had to do. I'm sure that's what they thought at the time. When I think about the people who took the original statue of Hachiko and melted it, I'm sure it couldn't have been an easy decision. And I can even see the reasoning. There are plenty of people who think that the needs of the living should outweigh the needs of the deceased. But that undercuts the entire story of Hachiko, doesn't it? He was a dog who stayed faithful to his owner even years after he had died. Hachiko didn't do the ulterior thing and abandoned his owner. The statue now stands outside Shibuya Station. Was built in 1948 after war. And it is sad that the original was destroyed. Indeed, Hachiko's statue is a reminder of what loyalty is. But it's also a reminder of what can happen when you decide to sacrifice your personal values. I'm glad that the statue was rebuilt. It's a way for the community to regain some of what was lost when the original statue was destroyed. but every time I pass by the statue, it also fills me with a certain sense of melancholy. And it makes me wonder how many times I've made the same mistake in my life. I know what it means to sacrifice one's values for utilitarian ends, Mr. Otaku. If I decide that after the fact that I made the wrong choice, I could try to rebuild what I destroyed by doing that. But in the end, that which has been destroyed can never really be fully replaced. Whether it's a relationship, or a career, or a reputation, there are certain kinds of damage that can never be fully undone. Even if you put in the effort to rebuild it, the scars will always be there. It's a sobering thought.
プロデューサー君
I guess what I'm trying to say is if you're faced with the decision of whether to sacrifice your values, it's worth taking a long and hard about whether it's worth it. It's worth thinking long and hard about whether it's worth it. What are you trying to rebuild?
うん
Huh?
うん
Oh, that's a personal question, Mr. Otaku. Maybe I'll tell you the answer someday. But not out here on the street. It's the kind of thing that's best discussed between two friends in private. In a way, the statue is a reminder that I should look after my health. Did you know that Hachiko's owner passed away at the age of 53? He died at work. Well, that's fairly young. I know. How do you think a man my age feels about it? Apparently, the thing that did him in was a brain hemorrhage caused by high blood pressure. I'm only half joking when I say that passing by the statue is the reason I don't smoke anymore. Anyway, it's just something to think about the next time you're thinking about what you have to do or what you have for dinner, or considering whether to indulge in the vices that are on offer at the convenience store.
悲しい
Maybe that's the second half of the equation, Mr.
プ
Otaku.
ロデューサー君
You have to look out for people that you're loyal to, but you also have to look out for yourself. After all, if you have someone who is faithfully waiting for you to come home every day, the best you can do is repay their loyalty is to take care of your health so you can live a long and happy life together. Don't lose sight of that, Mr. Otaku. Loyalty is important for a lot of reasons, but maybe the thing that's most important is to have people out there who are rooting for you.
よろしく
Do the thing that would make them proud. So yeah, that whole story about Hachiko, I haven't watched. There's like a movie based on it, and you know the full in-depth story. I haven't really looked into it. But I do know the just like he said there in that cutscene, and yeah, it's one of those very super sad stories that kind of got its own little spin on it with Fry's dog on Futurama, which gave one of the most depressing endings to an animated show or any show ever, when they had a chance to bring Seymour, the dog, back to life in the future after Fry and him had some time together in the past, but found out that Seymour had lived like 12 years more after Fry was gone. And so Fry was like, oh, no, we can't bring him back. He lived a long, happy life back then. He probably forgot all about me. And it goes to the gut-wrenching scene of a time-lapse of the dog Seymour waiting outside of the pizzeria where Fry worked, waiting for Fry to come back for that entire 12 years until his body finally gave out. Just a loyal dog waiting for his owner, his best friend, to come back and never seeing him again. And even now, just talking about that, it's just making me teary-eyed. It's just, you know, something like that just punches you in the gut, pulls at the heartstrings, and really kind of just really depresses you, more or less. So yeah, it says you can't take loans from. Okay, so it's not even gonna let me do anything. I was gonna say, how am I supposed to actually give money to him right now? She is not doing very happy right now, so I might have to. Of course, she's getting paid like almost 100,000 more than them. But yeah, I'll have to see about moving some stuff around. But I was gonna say, how am I supposed to give him money if he's requesting it? Or is it just gonna come up at a certain time? I don't really know. I'm not smart. All right. Well, let me go ahead and move the day forward because I'm like waiting for May 4th to. Oh, I guess I can't do it the 4th. I guess I'll wait until the 6th and launch the new song. Okay. So let's go ahead and release. Okay, it did break 300, so that's good. And 2,800 new fans, so I think that's fine. Let me go into research here, just to see what can we invest in at this point. I guess we could try to get more money in stuff like the photo shoots or advertisement. Actually, I prefer the photo shoots because that's just a one-time deal, where these ones, it's like, I guess this one would be okay too. Alright. And then, how about music? So, we could work on leveling up hip-hop or R&B. Choreography. Alright, that should be good for now. So, at this point in time, I don't know. Let me see where the girl's health is. Pretty decent. Well, I say that, and then it's like a couple of them are a little bit lower. How long has the radio show been going on for? Because I might just go ahead and X that. And we did lose a couple thousand fans, so yeah, we're just gonna cancel it. They got what they wanted from it. And then, yeah, at that point, we'll see what's going on with the story for that. Okay, so sexy photo shoot. 10, 47, 32. So I guess it's you. There we go. Thank you. Alright, well, I guess at this point, might as well work on another single. We could do, yeah, digital only. Hip hop, rebelling, street. Abe is our lead.
やったー。そうです。いけます。え？
What is the name of the song? I didn't even pay attention. Sure, that's a good combination. I love you, he's going to hell. Alright, we'll start working on this. Alright. Promoting a cute girl to promote for 3 months. Alright, well that sucked. Never mind. So it's like, right now I'm not in a place where I'm like losing a lot of money. If anything, it's like maybe $1 million a week. If that, I think I'm, well, no, I don't think so. I'm making a lot more than I'm losing, so that's the main thing. Alright. TV drama, no. And of course, not even the end of the month yet, and the new single is ready to go. Now I'm basically just kind of like making new fans a day. Uh-oh. Stand up amidst the cruelty of the old, rise up as creators of revolution. This line from TKO's newest single seems to have ignited controversy. Fans love the song's explosive rhythm and strong message, but were But we're catching fire spreading a message that encourages rebellious behavior among young workers and students, at least according to one politician who blames the song for the abrupt spike in delinquency rates for the entire week since the song was released. According to him, our idols are somehow using subliminal messages to cause behavior. Defend their right to express themselves. Scandal. Okay. A vague statement defending TKO's creative freedom serves to address the political radical act, but the statement gets as much positive reaction from the younger fans. So, I actually lost more than we gained, which is unfortunate, and 2 scandal points, which we could deal with. Okay, so 45,000 adult fans lost, gained 12 adult young, and 24 teen. So that's not awful. Okay. Unfortunately, still not enough to beat Glace Brise, but we are well, comfortably in the top 3. Alright, we'll go ahead and continue with the next bit of the story here. A new video titled Phantasm Facade, Bow Down MV is trending in the music section of a number of popular streaming sites. It appears that to be the debut video of a new idol group. The song's infectious beats and haunting vocals seem to have propelled the new single to viral success. Interestingly, none of the 3 idols that appear in the group appear to be identified by name. Instead, they are only labeled as 2, 3, and 4 with cryptic social media accounts to match. Where did this Phantasm Facade group come from? Don't tell me Rin is part of this group. If Rin is part of this group, I'm gonna be pissed. Ooh, nice color. Well, that's not going to be enough to break the top. I don't think. Alright, this controller's gonna get slammed. Alright, we got over half a billion. Okay, each wants to do 2 songs. Okay, so let's go ahead. Probably not gonna do another, or not gonna go for the stadium just yet. I think that's gonna be a little bit much for now. Now, is it gonna block out the ones that I can't use because we don't have our lead vocalist? I'm assuming it's gonna do that. Oh. No. So what happens? Do I just pick a different girl for this? Oh, okay. So that's a cheeky way to do it. I could have a different girl be the center. Okay. All right, this works. I can work with this. Okay, let's start with our first number 1. Where was that at? Or is it? Oh, it's down at the bottom. Okay. Yeah. We'll start with this song. And she's gonna be the lead. So then we'll have you talk.
どうしてですか?
And you talk. And then this song. Where's... There we go. Okay, I can't remember which ones it was that wanted to sing 2 songs. I feel like I haven't even picked the ones that wanted it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Wait, that's 4 songs. Okay, 1, 2. Oh, that's because I didn't add a talk spot in between these two. Song, talk spot, song, talk spot, song. Talk spot. Alright, I don't think this is gonna go well. I feel like it's probably gonna go very bad. Abe and Fukutome are the ones that want to do 2 songs at a concert. So Abe's got 1 there. Fukutome's got 1. So
Yes.
Yeah, we'll try it that way. All right.
よし行きますそうですえ開始します
All right, now we got what we're working on for this month. Oh, shoot. That's right. Story. You attend a TKO performance at the outdoor venue. Near the edge of the crowd, you spot Ayanaya, who appears to be taking notes on something. Abruptly, Hey. Hey yourself. I'm just here to write a story. Don't worry, I'm not looking for a big scooper or anything like that. I was feeling nostalgic, so I thought I'd come and watch TKO perform. After all, covering TKO is how I got my start. I know you've already done a lot for me, so I won't ask you anything for any special scoops or anything. I'm just looking forward to you doing something big. Well, hope I don't disappoint. Oh, don't worry about disappointing me. There's always lots of news to cover, and when there isn't news, I can always find a way to make it. I think you should leave the news making to me for now. As I advance through the world of journalism, one of the other things I discovered is that the highest paid journalists get to choose the stories they cover. There's a big part of how to tell an interesting or attention-grabbing story. You start with an interesting conclusion, and go looking for compelling evidence to support it. It's kind of like the scientific method, but in reverse. Back in the olden days, you used to choose the facts and see where they lead me. But the public wants more than just facts. They want stories. They want the kind of stories that could compete with television, movies, and novels. It's rare that the universe just dumps an amazing story like that into your lap. So I moved past the days of trying to come up with the hot scoop every week. These days, I'm going long form. These days, I'm working on a story. And now that I think about it, there might be a way for you to help me with this. After all, if the facts didn't fit the narrative I'm trying to sell, maybe I can get you to bring the facts I desire into reality. You know what I'm talking about, right? For example, right now I'm working on a story about how we're poised for a real EDM revival. I've already talked to a number of big musicians who have talked to me on the record about EDM music, and I think the story is coming together quite nicely. There's just one problem. In order for me to tell a story about EDM taking off again, there actually has to be a resurgence of it. Or at least an event that I could spin as a start of a resurgence. I've got enough of that big hit EDM single from a subject that I could interview in depth that would really help draw all of this together. I guess what I'm saying is, if you were to top the charts with an EDM single, then availed your idols for an interview, it would be a big help to me. And it would certainly make me look predisposed to cover TKO again in a very positive light. I'm talking about the kind of positivity that moves hearts and minds. So I'm not saying you have to make that your goal, but it would definitely make me happy. And hey, I'm always working on a
よ
story.
ろしくお願いしま
Give me a
す
call if you'd like to know what my next big story is. You might get to be a part of it. Well, we could try that. It's not going to be right away. Hey, did you see the music video with the Masked Idol group? Yeah, Phantasm Facade is what they're called, right? Uh-huh. I've got to admit, I'm pretty envious of that one girl's dance skills. Well, that's because you suck. You're talking about number 2, right? No, well, wait, no, I'm talking about 4. I don't even know which one is 4. How do you tell 3 and 4 apart? They're all dressed the same. It's easy. At the start of the music video, their numbers appear under them, and there's a close-up shot that shows that their costumes are ruffled slightly differently. You could use that to track who is between shots. What if those shots are from different days? I don't know. Can't you just look at the shape of their hands?
え
It's pretty hard with masks on. How did that group take off anyways? No one could tell them apart.
と
Maybe that's the appeal. You look at the girls and their masks and they could be anybody. Well, anybody that has amazing dance and singing skills. Who knows if that's even them singing? I bet you it would be really easy to dub in someone else's vocals considering that they're all masked. Oh, maybe we should start doing that for our promo videos. No cheating.
「終了します」 開始します
In the early morning, Yasuda Kakona stops you on the street outside of TKO HC building. I have an opportunity I'd like to tell you about. Hello to you too. Oh, I did skip the past niceties, didn't I? I did skip past the niceties, didn't I? I just assumed that you were in a hurry to get to work and I shouldn't waste your time. But in case you were offended, allow me to apologize and offer a requisite number of salutations. Good morning, good day, and good to see you. There's a popular television drama that's looking for a charismatic young lady to fill a role. A friend of mine came to me giving me right of first refusal. Under different circumstances, I'd gladly accept the offer on behalf of one of the idols at Glace Bryce. But recently, I started to adjust my strategy, and promoting the idols on television no longer suits my plans. So I thought I'd pass the offer to the most deserving partner I know. You are, of course, within your rights to decline the offer.
よろしくね
But when you get a business proposal later today offering the role, just know who it was that decided to send that bit of good fortune your way. Why are you doing this? I want to establish a new sort of relationship going forward. You're familiar with the old adage, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Well, I might have some favors to ask you in the future. If you're able to do as I ask, I'll use my connections to see that you're rewarded for it. This week, it's a TV role. In the future, who knows? My usual contact number at Glace Prize isn't the best way to reach me these days, so I'll give you my private number. Let me know if you'd like to do me a favor. Yeah, but look at this. A cute girl. I guess there's no negotiating it. It's gonna take a lot out, stamina-wise, so I probably just screwed myself there, so we'll see how that goes. Hey, you've heard about this new Phantasm Facade group, right? Oh, you mean the Masked Trio?
それよ
Yeah. I was wondering, do you happen to know anything about who might be behind this? I assumed it was a spin-off of an existing group because the choreography in the video is, well, it's not the kind that you could handle unless you're a real veteran. And the music video actually made a really big point in having long takes between cuts, almost as if they were trying to flaunt the fact that they weren't using editing to cover up any mistakes. Well, either that or they did a lot of takes to get it as perfect as they did. I don't know anything about them.
プロデューサー
Really? Well, that's disappointing. I thought you might have heard through the grapevine. I chatted about this with Nanaho earlier this morning. Apparently, she's obsessed with trying to pin down the origin of the group. I could tell her that you're interested in learning what she discovers. Anyway, catch you later. If you happen to catch wind of who did the choreography for that music video, let me know. Oh, and the idols, too. It seems pretty clear that someone hired some professional dancers. I'm curious as to where they happen to spot that talent.
Nama
So, you're looking for something fun to do? A little bit of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Alright, here's what I'm looking for you to do. Release... what? 3 metal singles in a single month? That's not feasible. Why do you want me to do this? Surely you're familiar with the concept of counter-programming. Lately, Centurion Dragons has been getting a bit too much attention for my taste. Everyone's starting to think of them as the premier metal group, and they're starting to climb in the charts. I figure flooding the market with a bunch of metal singles ought to inspire that a bit of genre fatigue. Who knows, maybe you'll even steal some of their thunder. I'm hoping that Centurion Dragons will eventually give up the fight and decide to move on to something else, at least for the short term. If I have Glace Bryce do the same thing, who knows, I might even start a story about the war over metal. But really, you don't need to concern yourself with a particular. I have larger designs at play here. Glace Bryce has several tracks locked and loaded, so once you've dropped 3 metal singles... Oh, okay. So I can do them, I could make singles and hold on to them. I don't have to release them right away. I'll complete the blitz with my own singles.
よろしくね
You'll of course be rewarded for your efforts. Okay, that could be interesting. I will definitely consider that. That sounds pretty interesting to say the least.
終了します
Alright, so... kind of the same with this concert. It's like, yeah, I could get it all ready to go, but more than likely I won't even do it until, I've got, everyone 100%. Hey, are you looking for a way to help me out? As I mentioned, I'm in need of a cash infusion. I know it's a bit ironic for me to ask that of you, considering that I was the only one who originally gave you the starting capital. But I'm now in the position of having wealth that I can't easily liquidate. If you could give me 100, it would be a big help. Okay, so I'm interested in this whole thing about the metal, so I need to go into research now. Okay. So nothing there. That's fine. What kind of choreography would you have? Would it just be energetic? That would honestly be my guess. Okay, so I honestly forgot about the EDM. I don't even know if I have enough for that. All right. So, oops. Nope.
嬉しい。そうです。え？いけます。
All right. That's the first one. Second one is Metal Friends. And third one is Metal Happiness.
開始します。
This is gonna be a clusterfuck for sure.
終わりっす。よ
Hey, I appreciate this. And that's greatly understating it. I won't forget this. In fact, I'd like to have you over for dinner. I have a friend who's a private chef. He'll put together something fit for an emperor. Oh, that sounds wonderful.
よし決まり。
Great.
よろしく。
I just need to confirm my friend's availability before I contact you with the details, but expect to be having dinner with I expect to be having dinner with you later tonight. Oh, okay.
ああ。
Ah, glad you can make it.
さあ入りたまえ。
Come on in. Kato, this is Mr. Otaku, the friend I've been telling you so much about. Kato, the young chef, bows.
ああ
Fujimoto-san tells me that you're a good friend to him, and someone who likes to see him treated well. I'm sure you have his appreciation, and you have mine as well. Oh, a friend of Fujimoto's is a friend of mine. Delightful, a clear example of the transitive property of friendship in action. I had hoped that the two of you might have a chance to hit it off, even if Kato doesn't have time to join us for dinner.
すみません。
You'll have to forgive me for leaving early. Ordinarily, I'd be happy to spend the evening with a friend of Fujimoto-san, but I already promised my wife that I would spend the evening with her, and she guards our time quite jealously. I feel lucky to have gotten to this much of you, Kato. I'd like your company, but if I can't have that, then your cooking is the best substitute a man could ask for. It's always a pleasure to come and enjoy your expensive whiskey, my friend. I'm certain that in exchange of my cooking and your liquor, I'm the one who comes out ahead. Mr. Otaku, isn't it nice how far Kato goes to make me feel as though I'm not imposing on him? I don't mean to make you any later than you already are. Thanks for stopping by, old friend. It was good to meet you, Mr. Otaku. With another bow, Kato makes his exit.
さて。
Now, let's see what Kato has prepared for us and doesn't have time to stay and properly enjoy himself, shall we? The table is prepared ornately. A properly cropped photo of the dinner table could be mistaken for the inside of the finest restaurants in the city. Oh, this looks splendid. I wish I could claim credit, but all I provided was the raw material. Kato's the one who deserves your praise. I'll be sure to pass it along to him. I'd tell you more about how excellent he is and what he does, but perhaps we should skip right to the part where you experience it for yourself. The first few bites confirm but what Fujimoto promised. The meal is delicious. You don't have to say it, I can tell from the expression on your face. How did you meet Kato? Oh, that may be a story for another day, and I'm not sure if it's my story to tell. The short version is I managed to spot his talent before anyone else did, and decided to do whatever any good investor would in that situation. I took a bet on him when he was a young up-and-comer. Not all that different from what I did with you once upon a time, actually. Though, now it seems to be the case that you're the one helping me out financially. Fujimoto gestures to the dinner table as he speaks. This is what I meant when I said I'm struggling with liquidity. I have a private chef who's willing to cook meals for me on special occasions. That's something that I have, and a lot of people would willingly pay a lot of money for, but I can't exactly sell this friendship and exchange it for cash. That's why I asked you to come to my rescue recently.
プロデューサー
You understand, yes? I have what other people might consider wealth, but that is different from having liquid cash. Friendship isn't something that can be sold, but I think that makes it even more valuable, because it means it's something that you'll always have. A valuable like a watch or an investment property, that can be taken away from you. People could steal it from you, or the market could collapse and reduce the value of your property. The finest riches are often the first to depreciate with age. But a good friendship, if you maintain it, is something that can last a lifetime and will only grow stronger as you age. Do you think we have that kind of relationship? Things are often easy to label. People have to talk to define the relationship. It's somehow easier to know when you're a part of a couple than when you're a part of a friendship, especially since different people draw the line in different places. One person's acquaintance, coworker is another person's friend. What level of confidant does someone have to be free to consider them a close friend? None of these things have clear labels. I think that's what makes friendship beautiful in a way. Every friendship is unique, but it can also be frustrating to negative. Labels aren't just how we present things to the outside world. They can also be how we sort things of our own mind. So I'll say this. Mr. Otaku, you have vindicated every bit of faith I put in you. I admire your acumen, of course. You've been a good steward of the resources I've invested in you.
楽しかったよ。
But I think what's more important than that is that I've had fun. I've had fun watching you develop the business, and I've had fun watching your successes. In a way, I feel like I've shared in your successes. I often tell people that I want the best for them, but when you succeed, I feel like I've succeeded too. Not just as an investor, but as someone who wants to see you do well in life, whether it's in business or anything else. Being in your orbit is fun. Almost like every time we talk, I leave feeling more energized. I know that's not how most people describe friendship, but I certainly count you among my friends, and I hope that relationship, however you choose to define it, continues. I've been in your corner from the start, and I've never regretted it. I consider you to be a friend too. I'm glad to hear this isn't one-sided. Friendship is a two-way street. You've gone right by me, and I want to do right by you. So, tell me the best way for me to do that. I want to know your needs better than I do. Oh, you know your needs better than I do. Okay, so, negotiate better transaction fees on ticket sales, helping with promoting TKO, actually, the lowered rent was probably the best option out of those.
了解だ。
You've got it.
よろしく。
I hope this isn't the last chance we'll have to meet like this. He just wants more money.
プロデューサー
Hey, I hope you don't mind, but lately I've been looking into this Phantasm Facade group that debuted recently. Oh, I'm glad you're looking into it.
ありがとうございます。
I heard from Miss Nakagawa that sounded like you were interested in the topic, so I figured it'd be worth my time to investigate. I tried to learn about the group, but the more I dig, the more mysterious it seems. Usually a group like this would be a subsidiary of some existing entertainment company. But I looked into who owns the trademark Phantasm Facade and traced it back to a shell company called Vale Holdings. Someone went out of their way to make it hard to figure out who's behind the group. I know this is kind of the point. All the idols wear masks, and they don't really have distinct identities, per se. Even the name implies that they're hiding behind a mask. But whoever put this together is doing a really thorough job. Suffice to say, my search seems to have met a dead end. I'm sure the information is out there, but I have no idea who I would talk to in order to find it. So, you come to me asking what it is I want from you. Well, I think the best gift you could give me is a life well lived. But if you're feeling particularly generous, how about 300? That's only if you're feeling extraordinarily beneficent. And it sounds like a lot of, well, that's because that's what would take to completely sever me from my old life. I wouldn't ask you money if it wasn't for a goal beyond that. I have it, but I am not in any way ready to give up that much money. That is crazy. Okay, hers is almost there. If I can get hers maxed out, I would go ahead and do our concert now. Actually, let me move the day ahead a little bit. I might be able to do a spa treatment and get that. Okay. Well, everyone is good right now, so I think I'm going to save, just because if anything bad were to happen, I assume it would. Let's go ahead and do our live show, see if we can make some money. Oh, yeah, sorry. Launch. Alright, we'll immediately increase hype. Oh, you are kidding me. Take it down. So much for the hype boost. Don't want to send our stamina just yet, so I guess we'll might decrease our accident chance to 0. All right. No critical failure with this one. All right, good. Let's see. Accident success. Actually, nothing's really bad here, so let's go. Accident success. We'll do that, just in case. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, let's drop the accident chance. Of course you land right on it. Alright, center stamina. And no critical failure. All right. 72 million in profit. I'd say that's pretty successful. All right, let's go check the girls. All right. Not quite ready to give him that money, though, so... let's work on those singles. Wow, that's insane. Phantasm Facade has released a music video for their new single, Sour Milk. In this video, there are several close-up shots that just show the bottom halves of the aisles' faces. It feels reminiscent of that one miserable musical about France that had close-up shots of all the actors singing to show that they were singing live. However, the rest of the aisles' faces are obscured or not visible in the shot, making it impossible to tell who they are. Whoever put together Phantasm Facade apparently managed to find singing and dancing talent in the same package. Alright. Okay. Wait, we don't want to do that one. And Metal Happiness, lyrics. No! I wish I didn't have to talk to you about this, but it's time for me to graduate. I'm looking at October 8th. No! Well, I'd prefer if you stay with the group longer. Are you really going to twist my arm on this? Well, I do owe you a favor. I guess it wouldn't be a problem for me to stick around until next October. Thank you. The annual group awards are next week. I just received notification that we're eligible for several. Anyway, we received advance notice, but official announcement will be going out later today. I expect it to generate a fair amount of buzz. This should be great for us. I should start preparing for the event. I already communicated with several members of our team and staff regarding logistics for attending the event. There's no need for you to concern yourself with details, but you might want to start thinking about acceptance speeches. Not that I expect you to give any speeches, since the award shows like this, people want to see the talent. It's a night for people to see speeches from idols whose faces they recognize. But you're the one in charge, so if there's anything in particular that you think they need to include in their speeches, we can make sure that happens. Of course, all that's moot if we don't win, but it's always good to be prepared. Anyway, you can think about it over the next week. Okay. So, the goal is, with this one, it's release 3 metal singles in a month. If I do one, like, week after week after week, I could do one today, and then on the 20th, and then on the 27th. New Phantasm Facade video? Yeah, what about it? Doesn't one of the girls in that video look familiar? It's not Rin, shut up. Yeah, one of them, I forgot which one, but she's the center in the new video. It's hard to see through the mask, but the way she moves and her height and a bunch of other little things about her, it just feels also familiar. Well, you do watch a lot of idol video or dancing videos, so you're bound to see some familiar ones over time. It's probably just a coincidence. It's not like that. It's like I almost feel like I've met the girl in person. I just can't place her. Huh. Well, if you ever figure out who she is, let me know. Could be a big story. Okay, so let me drop a save so I don't forget. Save. Alright, so which one should we release first? Happiness, Friends, or Love? I think we'll go Friends, Love, Happiness. So, boom. $2,200 new fans, that's not bad. And then on the 20th, we'll release Love. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot, that's right. Okay, most promotions. So, if it's going to be promoting, it'll be Fujimoto. Best concert, it's gonna be our choreographer. Most prolific group, and then if it's the best employer, it's me. Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. I'm glad the awards committee invited me to open this evening. I know all of you in the audience believe that, and you wouldn't be here. I'm going to make the case anyway, just in case some of you are only here because of a work obligation, or you're one of the people who got dragged as someone's plus one. I'd like to tell you about my hero. His name is Nigel. Was a bird who spent years courting another bird. Was indeed an actual object. It was a concrete replica of a bird that had been created by conservationists hoping to attract birds to a specific island. The real bird was so entrapped by the replica he spent years trying to woo it. Nigel invested his labor trying to impress the stone replica. Carefully constructed a nest. Refused to leave her even when the weather turned harsh. That's an incredible kind of devotion, and what's the most amazing is that he forsake the companionship of real birds all for the sake of a replica. I think Nigel knew what we all know deep inside. Just because something is artificial doesn't mean it's fake. Just because something is manufactured or constructed doesn't mean it can't have real appeal. In fact, a well-made replica can even be more appealing than the real thing, as Nigel showed us. In the 21st century, most people in our country don't believe in that sort of god or higher power. That means that the only gods that we have left are the ones we create for ourselves. That's the gift that IO groups give to the world. That's why I think the awards we're about to give out are so important. So if you see anyone walking off stage tonight looking like they're a bit full of themselves, let them. They've earned the right to feel better than the rest of us. What? There's a smattering of tepid applause for the speech.
皆さんこんばんは。
皆さんこんばんは。
おめでとうございます。
Promoting goes to Glace Prize. Fine.
おめでとうございます。
What? What the fuck? We got Concert of the Year? How the hell did we do that? Glace Prize most prolific group, that's fine. Yay, TKO! Alright, now time to release Metal Song number 2. And actually, 1,200 new fans in a week is not bad at all. Come on, stop it. You bastard. Alright, continue story. Hey, do you think this Phantasm facade will ever do a face reveal? Oh, that's gotta be why they're building what they're building up to, right? They're already the talk of the town. Imagine how much more they'd blow up once everyone knows who they are. I don't know, is it the mystique of their entire appeal? Well, if you gave them faces and names, I feel like it would kill people's interest. Nah, people get bored with this over time. The novelty is going to wear off eventually. Well, I'm not sure what you're expecting when you're expecting your popularity to start declining, because it seems like they've only gotten more popular since their debut. That is true. Alright. And then we go ahead and get to the 27th and release Metal Happiness. Ah, God damn it, controller. Stop it. All right, time for the last single. Metal Happiness. All right, now let's go talk to what's her name, and I could probably go ahead and talk to him. I'll talk to her first.
どうも
Well, it seems like you're the king of metal. Did Glace Brise's singles do well? They underperformed as I expected. Metal as a genre has been completely driven into the ground. If it all goes well, no one will put any serious amount of effort into releasing a metal single next month. I imagine the genre has never looked less attractive. You might want to avoid releasing any metal singles for in the near future, though of course you're a free person to do as you wish. That was a mere suggestion as my part, and not a
あ
request.
りがとう
Since you fulfilled my request, which I'm aware is a rather hefty one, I suppose I could give you something in exchange.
と
I get a lot of incoming business proposals, and going forward I could send some of the bigger ones your way. I also have arrangements with a number of venues where I've locked in lower than normal prices. Okay. I could, in a matter of speaking, sublet some of those venues to you so you could get a somewhat reduced price as well. Or I could make a habit of using Glace Brise's resources to promote your shows. I know some of our followers are the people who are bored enough to check out anything that makes its way into their feed. Which of those propositions sounds most appealing to you? Cheaper events I think would be good.
いいわよ
You got it.
またね
Say, I'm not in need of any other favors at the moment, but I'll be sure to hunt you down when something comes up. Alright, let's go ahead and... It would be a bit of a dip, but I'm doing pretty comfortable with money right now, so I don't think that's going to be too bad.
驚いた
Wow, you're really doing this. Well, alright then. You know this means I have to have you over for dinner, right? It's the best way I know it's the ways... It's the best way I know to say thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, good to see you. Dinner's ready. Is Kato joining us? No, as a matter of fact, this is all me. I know it might be hard to believe, but while you were out getting rich, I was here at home studying the blade. Well, I started with knife skills, but Kato taught me a lot of other things as well. Not too bad, I thought I'd start on the dishes he trained me on. I figured I would have some way to feed myself once I cut the last of my more sordid and tawdry business affairs. And if you need to feed yourself, knowing your way seems like a good insurance plan. Even if I couldn't find the kitchen to hire me, I could always cook for friends.
さあ遠慮
Go ahead, have a bite. You take a bite. It's a bit saltier than you used to, and the texture's a bit watery, but the flavor's not bad. You got potential. Potential, as in not yet realized? Well, that's good to hear. I've always been one to appreciate the journey to improvement, and if I had to know where to go but down, well, that would be discouraging. I'm not sure how much time I'll have to spend in the kitchen, but who knows, I might make a habit of it. I knew that I wouldn't be able to offer anything up to the high bar set by a chef like Hato, but I thought this would be a bit more special. Hard to explain, but there are certain things that you can't judge on raw quality, you know? Sort of like karaoke. If you want to listen to people sing, there are probably singers more talented than the people you get drunk and go to karaoke bars with. But you don't necessarily want to hear the best singers, you want to hear your friends. And if their singing is terrible, all the better, because you know that someone with a terrible singing voice only shares it with their best friends. Maybe that's not necessarily true in the kitchen, but I figured it was worth finding out. If the food is disappointing, well, that's why I brought out the good whiskey. This might be the last bottle of a really expensive whiskey I pour for a while. I'm not the sort of person to spend money on the finest of spirits, but when people want to get on your good side, well, let's just say that 500,000 wire transfer has the potential to look like a bribe, and a bottle of really fine whiskey is the sort of thing that officials are more likely to overlook. Easier to avoid the tax man getting a cut. I'm getting out of the business of taking and receiving the sorts of things that are commonly used to grease palms. Of course, getting on bureaucrats' good side in order to get what you want from them is still something I'm not above. But I plan to do it in a way that doesn't have the risk of attracting attention from the police. Well, you talk a lot about your past. I guess I like alluding to enough things so that people get into business with me know what sort of business they're getting into, while keeping the details vague enough that they could honestly say that they didn't know anything about it if anyone ever came asking. But I guess we're past the point where I could just vaguely gesture at the things and expect you to infer the details for yourself. Well, let's just say I got involved in the world's oldest profession. Officially, I ran a hostess club, the kind that operates out of the red light district. And that's the kind of place where you tend to see a lot of customers who are willing to pay for intimacy and a lot of workers who are willing to offer certain kinds of intimacy for the right payment. Sorry, you'll have to forgive me if I speak in innuendo rather than just saying everything outright. At this point, innuendo is the language I'm most fluent in. I've spent so much time communicating things by implication and winks and nods that I sometimes forget how to say things outright. Transactions of the sort I allude to will always happen, so why not try to create an environment where I can be sure everybody participating is fully willing to keep things safe. Well, you make it sound so noble. I admit, I do probably sound a bit of a scoundrel trying to rationalize this behavior. After all, I was profiting from all this, and I probably wouldn't have done it if I wasn't making money. I tried to make sure that I was doing things the right way, and that things ought to be done if they were going to happen at all. Not taking advantage of people who were desperate for money and willing to compromise themselves to do it. I didn't ever want someone to feel like they were being coaxed into the profession by need, so I decided my solution would be to act as sort of a financer on the side. If I ran into someone who thought that accompanying patrons to hotels was a good way to make a living, I'd facilitate that transaction. If someone just needed a source of income, I would try to get them on someone's payroll, sometimes by asking a client who owed me a favor or two. If I ran into someone who was desperate for some quick cash, I'd offer them a loan with good terms. That was the idea starting out. I admit I did fancy myself a bit of a paragon, at least as much of a paragon as you could be while running that sort of business on the side. My biggest problem was getting into the finance game before I really knew what I was doing. There's a reason that most banks tend to be so big. Being a lender is easier when you're also a stock trader. I'm not sure if you want me to fill you in on all the boring details on the world of finance. And yeah, I don't need a lecture. Right, no worries. I know this stuff can be boring. The part that mattered to me was that I had no way to collect on a lot of loans I had made when the economy took a bit of a bad turn. I didn't know how to secure myself against the risk, and I found myself in a bit of a crunch. So I ended up having to take out a lot of loans on my own from people who were involved with things that deal in a good deal more criminal than I was comfortable with. Not exactly your noble thieves types or even your noble pimp types. That's the part of my story I really don't want to get into too much specifics. I managed to dig my way out without having to get my hands too dirty. I broke the law more often than I compromised my own morals. But there's one thing I'll never forgive myself for. One of the women who worked at the hostess club I ran into took it upon herself to help me out on my little financial rut. she figured that if I was willing to talk to folks who had lent me money, she could earn me a bit of leniency. You know how I earlier said I never wanted to become involved with doing certain kinds of things for me if they were desperate for money? Well, I think I was able to fulfill that promise for the most part, but she was someone that I failed. She most definitely ended up being coerced into things that she wasn't comfortable with, and she did it to help me escape from bad loans that were the result of my own stupidity.
最悪。
She tried to hide it from me, but it became clear what was going on when I discovered that she was pregnant and had no idea who the father was. I knew there was nothing I could do to make things right after the way I let her down, but I swore that I would at least make sure that the child would be insulated from the worst parts of the world. That was quite some time ago. Looking back on how she turned out, I'm not sure I upheld my part of the bargain. But certainly to the child? Sure. She was running an idol group called Kokona, okay. Alright, she's running an idol group called Glace Brides, last I heard. Every time I look at Kokona, it's hard for me not to feel reminded of how I let her mother down. I hope I didn't let Kokona down. Kokona is fiercely independent, so anything I try to still feel an obligation to look out for her. I know that you're rivals now, but don't let her fall too hard, okay? I had no idea she had been through so much. I think Miss Yusada didn't have it too bad. Growing up not knowing who your father is can't be easy, but at least you had a loving mother. That's one of the most important things a child can have, right? At least that's what I'd like to tell myself. After all that Miss Yusada's mother did to try and help me, the least I could do is try to make sure that she had the life she deserved. In the end, I'm not sure making sure that she had enough money and not have to worry about putting food on a table or making rent payments was enough. I spent more than a decade doing everything I could to make things right.
よろしくお願いする。
Look out for your friends, Mr. Otaku. That's all you really have in this world. I hope that's a lesson you'll be able to learn without too much heartache. After several quiet moments, the conversation moves into lighter topics, and the next hour passes quickly as jokes are told and drinks are poured.
またな。
You know, I wanted to talk business tonight, but now it doesn't seem like the time for that. I'll come to your office tomorrow and talk about it. Alright. So let's go ahead and get through the rest of the month, and then I might go ahead and call it there for today. I feel like I've done quite a bit. So yeah, oh well. Yeah, let's go ahead. I'll do this. Oh. Completing this task will lock you into Fujimoto's route. Do you want to continue? I guess not yet. What about this one?
やあ。
Hey, just wanted to check in on you, see how you're doing. Business is good. Good is good, but great is great. Hopefully you're not settling. You know, regardless of that whole Nation of Idols things went down, I think you made out pretty well, all things considered. I completely forgot about the show. Apparently, the drama with Miss Yusada was the beginning of the end for them, because after all that hubbub, the ratings really dropped off a cliff. Maybe that's why Miss Yusada seems to have all but disappeared from the public eye. Yusada Kokona is still officially running Glace Brides, but it's been a while since they tried pulling a public stunt. That's pretty uncharacteristic. I'd have at least expected Glace Brides to get a boost, but if anything, it seems like they've stagnated as a group, and it might be losing fans. Maybe she's planning something big. You're saying that has a plan so big that they're taking months to plan everything before springing into action? I wonder what kind of stunt would be so big that would require that much preparation. You know, the last time I talked to Miss Yusada, she mentioned about wanting to create the ultimate idol. Maybe she's on a massive talent scouting mission or something like that. I guess if you're spending all your time looking for the ultimate talent, it would reduce the amount of time you had to maintain your existing stable stat talent. I hope I get a chance to find out soon. Okay, well, since that seems like it's going to be... Like, it says about a route, which I'm not really sure what that means. I'm not sure if I really want to risk that at this point just yet, so let's go ahead and move things along a bit. At least get through the end of the month.
いて
Oh, what happened with her? Oh, shit. Did not pay any attention. Send this idol to a doctor to reduce... So... I don't think there's a way I could just do it without, Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Well, I guess I'll just continue through the rest of the month. So, we got... Actually, since that other group did not have anything this month, we got number 2, number 4, and number 6. Alright, so she's injured. That definitely sucks. Can't really work on another single. Oh, I guess I could put that in choreography for now.
開始
I still don't know about this. I'm assuming this is what I want to do since I spent the money on him. All right. And then, yeah, I need to put some points into EDM. Okay. So, with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it there for today. Not entirely sure how I'm going to approach things. It's like I could continue with this. I could do this just to have that locked in. At this point, it does seem like maybe it would be good to expand so I could... I'd probably need to get at least 2 floors because I'm going to need one for... well, one to bring in like a doctor's office in case something like that happens again with an injury, which wasn't paid attention, that's on me. But I'll also want to get a new, like, a choreographer who could do better coaching, and a new audio recorder who could do better coaching. Another break room so I can go up to 5, possibly 6 girls. Basically get at least 1 to 2 new girls through the means of auditions again. Probably not going to do the nationwide yet, though it would be nice to have the chance to get a gold, but there's still a chance here. It's just very low. But if I could get at least another silver, and then, you know, if it's anything lower than that, I can just have them training. So that's kind of the goal right now. We'll just have to see how it goes. It's going to be interesting if I can pull it off, but that's part of the fun of this. Should be back on, I think, Wednesday. So, yeah, plan on that for more of this. I'm not sure how much longer we got in the main story. I'm assuming I gotta do quite a bit more, but we'll just have to see how it goes. But, yep, that'll do it for me for today. I do want to thank those who stopped by and watched. Hope you enjoyed. And as always, until next time, I will see you later. And take care.